Okay, it's 13 August, or 13 April 2026. I was out in my yard with my good friend, brother, yesterday, and I work for him, and he knows. I was like, dude, I could leave it. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm literally going off of the cognitive dissonance that I can handle and being where I'm at, and knowing what I know and being able to keep on going on. So my plan is, has been for years, is when I get out of here, or when I leave, that I'll give, I'm going to give everything to him. And, I've been thinking about that, throwing it back and forth through my mind for years now. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like this system is so paradoxical, right? Like, I feel like I'm going to do something good. I'm going to give all my shit to him. But then, you take that further out perspective about it, and you're like, so I'm going to offload everything, all these possessions that are possessing me, onto somebody else who I'm telling that I love, that is trying to get out from under the system themselves. And I'm going to offload all my shit onto them. Now that goes deeper, because this person helps more people. I mean, more people than anybody else. Probably this guy helps so many people, it's ridiculous. And so by giving him these things, I know that he directs things in certain areas. That's his. He's very good at that. But yeah, so dealing with that paradoxical, right? It's almost like it's like I'm moving towards that conviction that, why am I going to burden it? It's like, how is that a gift, giving somebody else who's trying to break free from the system all of this shit? And it doesn't end, guys. I mean, I was going through here today. I was cleaning up some stuff over there. I mean, each one of these ladders is $150, $200, at least. There's over $1,000 in there. The brake's over $1,000. All that metal over there is $1,000. That's a trash pile. Each one of these toolboxes, every single one of these toolboxes it's just jam-packed with tools. And each one of these, you're talking about $30, $40, $50. You're talking about thousands of dollars sitting here over time. I mean, every little thing, and we need it. We use it all. You never know when you're going to need it when you're doing this type of work. I mean, all of this stuff costs money. $5 here, $10 there, $20 there, $15 there. I mean, all of it. Look, and it doesn't end, guys. Every single one of these boxes is screwed. $10. I got a dozen of these boxes packed with screws. Look over here, just packed with screws. That right there, that blue gun right there, used it a few times, broke. There goes $100, just gone. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. At $10, $20 for this cleaning stuff and that stuff. I mean, everything is packed full. This bag right here probably has close to $500, maybe more in it. It's just so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. You're talking about, so these are packed. I mean, I would estimate the value of all this shit right here to probably be close to $15,000 individually. Every single thing added up, retail, $15,000 just in shit laying around. And then look at this. Think it ends there? Look down here. Look at all this shit. I got buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of materials. That some of these materials are $250 a bucket. Then you got all the tools. You look at the caulk, right? The more ladder. I mean, I could go through here. There's thousands and thousands. It's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing, and I'm just a single guy, right? like people who own businesses and stuff, it's 10 times worse, 1,000 times worse. I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, you can't even imagine how bad it is. I mean, look, I got ladders over here. This is materials. Each one of these fucking boards is $7, you know? I mean, it just doesn't end. Look. Look. It just doesn't end. It doesn't end. And so, you know, I was going to get... The thing is here, let me finish. Let's walk through here. Look. Look at all those spices. The only reason my spices are down, I don't even cook anything. The only reason I got spice everywhere, because they were all piled up here, and I need to make room up there for other stuff. But, you know, guys, you know, if you buy spices, you know how much each one of those are. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of dollars in spices. Hundreds and hundreds. Look. What's in here? What's in this room? Oh, well, this is when I was doing all my fermenting. So I got, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of jars. This is all the kid shit that they left here. Most of it. Some of it's still mine. But, yeah, more materials, $250 a bucket. You know, and it's just like, wait, how do you get rid of it? You know, you need it all. As long as I have this house, as long as I'm working a job, as long as I am still participating so deeply within this system and relating myself so closely to this system. Look at this. I mean, it just doesn't end. So, you know, getting back to, and I don't know how well you guys can see that, or if you can see that at all. I don't have my laptop anymore. All I have is my phone. This is not my quote. This is somebody else, but man, is it right on. Your body is not confused. It is betrayed. It is still keeping score, and it whispers in symptoms. Man, that's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, that's so deep. And so what I got here is, this is us, right? This is us. This is our body right here. Hell and slavery is what we're born into. That's, you know, our parents force us to be drug addicted to food. They sign us up, you know, put us into the slavery system. So we're literally just born into hell and slavery. This is us inside that little circle, right? This is our buffer zone, right? Our buffer zone. And what our society, our culture, our conditioning has taught us, no matter where you're from, no matter, it doesn't matter. Everything's playing within this system. And so how do we keep ourselves in that system, right? So everybody's dealing with the same hell and slavery inside when they're all alone, all by themselves. They're hurting. They know things aren't right. They know that this shit just doesn't make sense. They know that. How does it keep going? Well, we've already established, you know, years ago in my videos on the, you know, indoctrination and how it, you know, they bring you through, they pump you full of drugs, and your parents beat you till you're drug addicted to food and all of that. And then that's before you're 5 years old, and then you get put in their forced indoctrination systems and all that. Well, that's fine. We know all that. So we're here in hell and slavery. Everybody is. Your teacher is, your doctor is, you are, your mom is, your dad is. Everybody's trapped in this little hell of slavery. And this becomes apparent even in people who put smiles on their face, like a doctor, let's say, who seems to be doing fine and making plenty of money, and he's got a pretty wife and 2 kids, and they got all everything, and they got bank accounts, and you know, they're still, when they get by, the only reason they're happy is because they're keeping themselves so occupied, so fucking immersed, and they don't know their identity other than through their ego. Their only way that they can get through life, or wake up in the morning, or move, or go to bed at night and sleep, is because they have lifted their ego so high, and it's been supported by other idiots out there who've lifted their egos up. And now they have essentially stamped out their soul. But that's different. I'm going to do a different video on that. But how do we get stuck? Like literally, like the billions of us who are just so poor that are just barely making it every day. We can't go 1 month without fucking wondering if we're going to be able to pay our bills, right? 1 month, we're like, oh God, don't get sick, don't die, don't miss a day of work, don't do this, don't do hell, slavery, right? That's what we're all in, period. How do we keep on keeping in it? And our body's letting us know we're all sick, we're diseased, we're confused, we're scared, I mean, when was the last time you felt good, right? So our body's keeping score, but what's pushing us to keep on pushing? Well, are the people around you. Now, this is so important because what we do is we're in hell and slavery, and then we have this bubble right here, like when we're by ourselves, right? And this is what we do when we're by ourselves. So we get off work, our boss just treat us like shit, our coworker got away with some nasty shit that we didn't like, your mom called you and dumped her shit all over you, and now you got 1 hour, you took a shower, you ate, you filled your body full of toxic poisons, right? Now you're just relaxing, you're about to zone out on the TV for 2 hours before bed and do it all again tomorrow, right? How do you keep yourself in here? Things like, I am fine. I'll be okay. It's not that bad. Stop complaining. Other people have it worse. Jesus loves you. Right? So that's what we're doing to ourselves, that we have to mentally ignore what the body's telling us and push through by taking our drugs. When I say drugs, I'm talking about food. I'm talking about food. I'm talking about your entertainment. I'm talking about your distractions. Okay, that's what I mean by drugs. Okay, so we drug ourselves till we're numb. And then that's when we're able to subconsciously or consciously tell our subconscious, oh, it'll be okay. It's not that bad. Just relax. Look, you're relaxing. Look, everything's fine. You got a roof over your head. Oh, praise Jesus. Got the roof over your head. Look, the lights are on. Oh, look, your fridge is still running. Oh, praise Jesus. We can keep the slavery going another day. Wonderful, right? So you're gaslighting yourself to keep going. And then on the outside, if you are trying to break free from this hell and slavery, and you recognize this self-talk that's keeping you trapped, right? What do you have out here that you've surrounded yourself your whole life and made your identity with? All your coworkers, your friends, your family, whatever. The people that you are like, I couldn't imagine life without these people, right? These people make up your life. You have identified yourself with them. And so what do they say to you? What's wrong with you? You're lucky. Count your blessings. Come on, man, get up. Jesus loves you. You are never happy or satisfied. Why can't you be more like ... your sister, your brother, your pastor, your friend, that person? You can be anything you want to be. And obviously, if you're here and you're feeling like that's because you chose it. They're gaslighting you because when they get out of themselves, they're going through the same fucking thing you're going through. So how do we stop it? How do we stop that? How do we stop that madness? Because that's insanity. That's insanity. That is crazy. That is so fucking... That is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and 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 over every day of your life. Every single day of your life. The same thing. There might be Jesus sprinkled a few little days in that year where, you got the monkey off your back and all your bills, you didn't have to worry about anything for a couple months and you went on a vacation. Wow. You got to go put your feet in the sand water. Wow. Enjoying God's creation. Wow. How lucky are you? Right? But we do the same thing over and over and over and over. And you guys, we're like, we get online and we're like, let me find the answer. Let me find a savior. Everybody's just complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm pointing something out to you. Because the thing is that we can be made aware of that and it sticks for about 5 seconds while we're contemplating on it, while we're sitting on it, while we're thinking about it right at that moment. And then as soon as we get up out of our chair, as soon as we turn away, what do? We're right back to wondering, should I throw this shit away? Well, that gets really hard to do when you look at every little thing you own. And because what you still place value on, you see it all as valuable. The only reason it's valuable is because it allows you, these are the things that are allowing you to stay in the wheel of the system. So what I am getting at is this system is so invasive, so pervasive, so interwoven into our identities that in order to break free, you have to break your mind free. You have to break your emotions free. You have to break these habits. If you're not going to quit eating, I didn't quit eating. I mean, I haven't quit eating. So I'm talking from my own experience. I'm in the same shit as everybody else, finding my way out. And I'll tell you, from my years now of finding my way out, spending every day, all my time on just how the fuck do I get out? How do I release myself from this hell that I've created inside of me, this slavery that I am chained and bound to, this shame and guilt. The most effective thing for me has been to acknowledge the thoughts that are going through my mind, recognize the emotions I feel, the triggers, and then work on the sources of those things. Getting rid of shit. I'm telling you, I've made so many trips to the dump, it's unreal. And I still have all this shit. I've made so many trips. Every time I've taken a trip to the dump, like the whole week afterwards, I just feel lighter. I feel better. I feel calmer. I can breathe better. Everything. I feel clear in my head. The other thing, besides just dumping shit, because again, you can't just dump shit if you're not, again, this is a holistic approach. You're mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional, right? So if you just go and dump all your belongings, okay, because you've come to terms and you're like, oh, this is what I need to do. I need to just get rid of everything. And then you're sitting in your house. Now you don't have tools. Now every time you need to work on a different situation on a home or whatever your occupation is, now you need to go and buy the tool again, which now you need more money. Now you're stuck in that wheel again, right? So you're like, okay, well, how do I logically as an adult who can, responsibly think through how to best work my finances, how can I get myself out of this system? Throw one thing away a day, one little thing away a day. Stop having benign conversations with people. Stop feeding into the parasitical system with your time and attention. Stop keeping up with their stupid wars, their stupid financial shit, their stupid whatever. It's all they went to the moon. that right there is some funny ass shit, man. Like, really, oh my God, don't get me started. Okay, Richard, stop. See, like that right there feeds into their system. Unless I have something constructive or creative to say about it, anything, if I go into all the bullshit details, which I can't because I don't know anything about it other than they went, and I can only imagine it was I can only imagine how fake it must have all be to somebody with the eyes to see. But so what I'm saying is all of this. So anytime you have a conversation, anytime you're spending your time getting worked up about the war or this or that, anything outside of your general area or what you are responsible for, and you're not responsible for who's the president. You're not even responsible anymore for who's your local leaders. It's all rigged. It's all that stuff's rigged. It's all rigged. We're right now, I mean, just in the Shenandoah Valley where I'm from, all these little towns, everybody's like, it'll never happen to us. It'll never. These politicians have Trojan horsed everybody. You should see all these people complaining now about, we didn't want this. We didn't want, how did you guys, we don't want this. We don't want to, like, because they're putting data centers and they're redistricting and they're doing all of this stuff around here. And people are just like they're caught with their pants down. And it's just so funny. It's like, you guys believe in these systems that have been literally ass raping you your whole life. And you want to claim victim. But how are you going to claim victim in a system that is completely set up, and the only reason you are here is for them to victimize you? You were literally, the day you were born, signed up to be victimized. So the things that we can do to start pulling ourselves out of these ruts that we find ourselves in is, instead of saying, I've done everything, I've fasted, I did a 3-day fast and nothing worked, I did this and I got rid of this and I threw my TV away and I did that and I just can't do anymore. That's fine, then you can't do anymore if that's all you can do. But I'll tell you this. Every time I find myself saying that, when I sit back and I'm like, okay, hold on, motherfucker, and I call that person a motherfucker because I'm like, because that motherfucker is shooting himself in the foot. Hold on, motherfucker. Let's think logically. Let's calm down. Let's recenter. Let's remember who we are. We're an eternal soul occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth. Everything wants my attention. Everything wants my energy. Everything wants my focus. Everything wants to press me down in order to build themselves up. That right there just speaks volumes to how powerful and how unbelievably important you are, each one of us. So the way I do that, when I start getting like that, I did it already. I'm like, fuck. And I feel my, frustration kicking in and like that self-aggrandizement, the ego. I start paying attention to the little things. So what I'll do is I'll review my day. I'll review the past couple days. I'll review my week, right? And I'll see where my energy went. I'll see if I turned on a YouTube video or scrolled through something on Facebook that caught my eye and that I ended up spending, 5 minutes on, 10 minutes on, 20 minutes on. And I'm like, oh my God, that did it. That did it. And if you're going around and having conversations about all of the bullshit, because see, you got to understand that the matrix, the system that we live inside, it's everything. It's the house, it's the cars, it's the everything on the news, every single thing on the news, completely 100% scripted. Everything that's going on down here with the local politicians and everybody, up in arms about, the schools, with the pedophiles and the goddamn wars and the redistricting and the data centers they want to put right in the middle of the fucking neighborhoods. This is the pervasive system. And so this is the thing, is that people literally around here think that they're going to spend all their time, focus, energy, and attention saving their local town, right? Saving their local town from the data center, saving their local town. All this shit's coming. You're not going to stop it. This is the thing, is this system pushes you, okay? The system pushes all of us in this big, cone that has a hole at the bottom, right? And the weakest, the ones who can't keep up, fall down to the bottom. Well, what this system is doing is all of these people, these generations that right now that are up in arms about all this shit, those voices are just slowly going to die off, because what the system does is just pushes in and does what it wants to. And then all the minions that just go to work and are just so busy and they don't care about data centers because they work on IT and they love data centers and they love this shit and they love all of it and they want to redistrict because they want to move. We had all the city people move down here in the past few years. And so they're trying to change all the laws down here to get it just like the city and all that, So what are these people saving? Think about it. What are the people saving that are saving us from data centers? Oh, but you still have fucking Walmart that put everybody out of business. And is relying on, slavery and keeping people minimum wage to fucking just slave away to put your bullshit slave shit on the shelves. And then you got the grocery stores, which are nothing but your local drug center, So what are you saving? That's what I'm trying to say, is people have come to terms with shit's bad. We got to do something. But they're not admitting to the hell and slavery that they've only ever known inside when they're by themselves and they're being honest with themselves. That's all they know. But so they're sitting there, but they've convinced themselves, I am fine. I'll be okay. It's not that bad. It's the country. We have the Shenandoah River. We're just country people. We're just God-fearing country folk, just getting along, helping our neighbors, doing what we got to do, keeping each other in the hell slavery loop. But at least we make each other feel good and tell each other Jesus loves you and count your blessings. And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. People don't want to let go. They don't want to admit to the big picture. They're just looking at, oh my gosh, we're over there, we're bombing and killing all these people. Your fucking medical industry kills more people over here through medical malpractice in the United States alone, hundreds of thousands a year. If not millions of people, probably millions and millions of people a year in the United States alone die from medical malpractice. This is how the system works. They get us all wrapped up because they're feeding off your energy. So I don't know if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. This energy, every time you speak to another person about the war, about this, about the president, about the local politician, about this, about that, about the other thing, you are feeding into a system. Because who is talking about those things? Not the all-knowing, all-powerful, eternal soul that's occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth. No, the one that is complaining about all these things and fearful of all these things and talking and spending all its time and energy is the ego, is the one that lives in hell and slavery. Quit recognizing their systems. Recognize the part that you're playing within it and start pulling yourself out. No matter how slow it is, start pulling yourself out. Throw one thing away a day. And that's not going to make a difference if you're bringing 5 more things in a day. This journey is so nuanced for each one of us, because each one of us is living in our own little pit of hell that we've created for ourselves. We were signed up and placed into it, but we never ejected ourselves from it when it came time at 18, because the system was set up to keep us in it. We were rebirthed at 18 out of their education system now and into their fucking workforce. So what I'm saying is, quit. If you are struggling, if you're saying you're trying to get out of this shit, quit feeding it. That is the thing. Quit feeding it. Quit feeding it your time, your attention, your thoughts. If you have a conversation with somebody about the president, or if you have conversation with somebody about the data centers, or you have a conversation with somebody about the war, right? You have to think about all the time, focus, energy, and attention it took for you to even be able to have the information to have that conversation. Think about all the emotions and what it did to your body when you were learning about it, and how your emotions went up and down. You got angry, you got sad, got confused, you got worried, you got all these different things. And then now you're conversating about it. So you're just living in this emotion. You're living in these energies. You're living, and not only you living it, you're this body that's so completely borne down and weighed down by all the weight of toxicity and the shit that is just endured for your whole life. You are now just feeding into this. You're like, you're sitting there, you're having that conversation with these people, but then at the end of the conversation, yeah, well, I quit buying from Amazon, or yeah, well, I quit doing this, right? And you just say this little, virtue signaling thing that you're doing to pull yourself away, right? This is a whole holistic system, guys. You got to pull yourself away up here in your thoughts, here in your emotions, spiritually and physically, right? You cannot just pull away in one way and then think you're going to have everything else and everything else is going to be fine. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work that way. And this is what scares me. The only thing that scares me is that the collective conscious is going to be so fucked that literally, if all the wars stopped, we got a new president that promised peace, that he wasn't going to go to war to make peace, and they quit putting data centers everywhere, and they just allowed us to keep going to work, and they raised everybody's income by 50%, so that way it would at least take the burden off everybody, just a hair. They promised to quit raising taxes for it's still just such a disgusting, and that's what they want. They want you, they give those little things just slowly, to you, just to keep you going. Look, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. And then you just keep on going, and so, yeah, that's the important thing. This is all about energy and where you're spending your time, attention, and energy, and what is in your mind. And if you're saying you're pulling out and you're spending all this time, attention, and energy on everything outside of you, and you're having conversations and you're feeding in, because now when you have a conversation, when you're by yourself and thoughts are going through your head and you're scrolling your phone, you're only hurting yourself. I mean, you're feeding into their algorithms and, of course, feeding the beast that way. But even then you're still hurting other people because the view counts. Well, they fake the view counts and all that shit. They fake it all. It's all fake. Everything outside you fake. But when you have those conversations with other people, you are literally, you're telling those people it's okay to it's okay to believe that the president's in charge. It's okay to believe that, it's so bad that we're over there bombing all these other people, while for the past 40 years, 50 years, medical malpractice in this country has killed millions of people. Right? Millions upon millions upon millions of people. The police force in this country has killed tens and hundreds of thousands of people, right? Oh, but we fuck for peace, or what is it? We fight for peace. We fuck for virginity. We, war on drugs, all this shit, it's just so stupid, man. It's really, unless you start using your common sense and just get rid of the bullshit, you're just going to keep on spinning in circles. And the most important thing you can do for yourself is just get rid of things. Get rid of things up here. Change your belief systems. Give yourself grace. Forgive yourself. Realize that we were put in these positions. And when you do that, not only do you forgive yourself, but it gives you that empathy and that understanding towards others to be able to see, wow, this is fucking unbelievably difficult. We are so enwrapped and intertwined in this shit that, what do you do? What do you do? Well, I'm telling you what we do. You take back your energy and attention and your time and your focus and your mind and your thoughts. That's how we do it, guys. And I know it sounds simple. It's not. It's not, because all those thoughts, energies, emotions, and everything else is tied into your body. Your body has been keeping the score, and that's what makes this so difficult, because we relate so much with this body, with this physical body, and this physical body is wrecked. Most people, by the time they're in their 20s, their physical body is fucking wrecked. They're so weighed down physically from the trauma and abuse and the poisons that they've fed themselves in their mouths, their ears, their eyes, their nose, their skin. And then that's not even talking about TIs and people who have, with implants, and then all the nanotechnology. It's just, guys, but we're so far above that, because, listen, that's what I'm trying to say. It's so funny. We are eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful souls that are connected to everything on that plane of existence, occupying the most advanced biological systems on this earth, connected to everything biologically. And the systems in place that we are speaking of now they do everything they can to be able to keep you thinking that you're nothing, that you are below, that you're less than, that you need them, that you need their poisons, that you need their poisonous systems, that you need to be so married to these ideas that food is nutrition, that food is the how you live, that religion is impossible without God and spirituality and all this shit. Oh my God, the belief systems is just so crazy. They marry us to. They get us to marry ourselves to. And it doesn't matter what thought that is that they get us to marry ourselves to. We hold on to that so tightly, because everything in this world's just going like this, and we're like, we got to be that rock, that stone, right? That unflinching, unwavering stone. So at every moment we're grasping onto, last year I researched and I found out that, this salt does this, but your body's breaking down a year later, but you're refusing to go back and say, oh, maybe it was that idea. It's so hard for us. And so you have to constantly be reevaluating, no matter what modality, no matter what you did or were doing, and it might have worked for you for like 6 weeks, and then 6 months later, you find yourself in hell again, and it's like, what the fuck, man? And because you married yourself to an idea, to a modality, to something that, because these modalities are only meant to be temporary things until we completely trust ourselves and give up 100% all this bullshit and reclaim our birthright, who we actually are. All-knowing, all-powerful, eternal soul occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth, connected to everything. These systems have literally made us think that we're nothing and we are everything, because they are nothing without us. They're parasitical guys, just like the parasites that are living inside of us that we're trying to get rid of, just like the parasites in our minds, the thoughts, right, that we're trying to get, just like the parasites that are embedded into our emotions, right, that trigger our emotions, that get us, so hyper joyous and then so hyper upset and then so hyper sad, and then all of that, man, it's all feeding into the system. So we just got to find that balance, on our way through this thing. And it's just takes truth. It takes being true to yourself. It takes courage. It takes the most raw amount of honesty you could ever imagine, constantly forgiving yourself, constantly reevaluating, because like I said, I mean, if you marry yourself to an idea, a modality, like a yoga teacher, right? Like these yoga teachers, yoga's the answer. It does everything for you. That you have changed yourself to a different kind of hell. You're in hell. You just moved you're at the penthouse now or whatever of your building. I mean, it's just stupid. It's so ignorant. And, I guess that's what the thing is, getting rid of the ignorance and taking personal responsibility. So, guys, just don't forget who you are. And just when you're sitting here and you're having conversation, you're defending or find yourself getting upset about a certain thing or whatever, reevaluate and say, and think about what you're defending. Whether you're defending veganism, whether you're defending, Republicanism, whatever, man, whatever you may be defending, just realize that whatever you're defending is probably part of the system, and that you're not making any difference by just running on a different hamster wheel in the system. Yeah. I don't know if I broke it down. I think this is just the beginning. I think I covered like 6 different areas that I want to go in deeper, touch in deeper on. But hopefully that helps somebody. Hopefully that clears something up. Hopefully that gives somebody a little bit of encouragement, a little more clarity on something. Or, maybe, like I said, just shakes you awake from you were married to an idea, a modality, or whatever else, and it's time to reevaluate and break yourself away from that. Because we are above modalities, guys. We are not our modalities. Do not become a yoga instructor and teach yoga for the next 30 years and live in your house and buy your processed foods and poison yourself and vote in your sick, poisonous systems. Don't do that. And that can be in any way. But yeah, I hope that helps somebody today. Remember who you are. You're an eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful soul, occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth, connected to everything. And the only reason you can't embody that at this moment, you can't even imagine it, what that is because this system, for generations to generations, God knows how many times you've circulated in this system, right? Because you love it so much, because you were so fearful, because of all these different reasons. You were married to the system. And now you find yourself here going, what the fuck? Just remember that this system is relying on you. And it's not relying on you, championing it and being out there, pushing a cause for data centers or for republicanism or for wars or anything like that. It's relying on you just when you're in your house by yourself, eating your poisonous goyim slop, right? Your cattle slop, because that's all your nutrition is. That's all of the nutrition, no matter how healthy you think you're eating, all that nutrition, because you've literally, in order to think that you need that, you are downgrading who you are as an eternal soul inside of this advanced biological body. You are made up of trillions of cells. Every single one of those cells is self-regulating. It needs nothing outside of itself. When it loses something, it builds it back up. The only reason your cells die, the only reason this physical body dies, is because of all the trauma, abuse, and poisons that we have inundated it with since day one. And we're still able to live till 70, 80 years. And granted, none of us are living happy, fulfilling lives. We're all miserable as fuck, right? So, it's just a testament to when we fully embody and we get rid of these encumbrances and get rid of these marriages and divorce from these ideas and these religions and these belief systems that have kept us and enslaved us for so long, for generations, we will know what that is. We will know. We already know. All we're doing is remembering. We're coming to a remembrance. So we will fully embody that. And when we do, it's going to be amazing, guys, because, like I said, think about it. This whole slavery system, everything we think we need, a house, a car, a job, money, wife, kids, bank accounts, all heat, cold, fridges, all this shit, right? That we think we need as humans, because some people sit there and say, yeah, we're eternal souls occupying a biological, but look what the biological needs. It needs a house, it needs a car, it needs a this, it needs a that. And you know what I mean? It's like, okay, get away from me. Don't bring your fucking egregores over here. You got to deal with that shit yourself. If that's how you think, you got to deal with your egregores yourself. Your monsters, those monsters that you're bringing up that are in, you need to deal with those yourself. Because I've had to deal with them myself. And we all have a lot of egregores that we've all fed that are the same egregores, pretty much. But I'm no longer feeding them, and so don't bring that shit over here, because it makes me fucking, my heart start racing, because I'm still dealing with other shit, right? But to understand and really truly comprehend and embrace that is what the system is. It's all encompassing. It includes your house. It includes your goyim slop that you put in your mouth every day, all day long. Just the only thing that makes me feel better is food. It's okay because it's just food. It's nutrition. I'm eating good. Right? We are still, even in our houses, eating our little salads and our little fruits and my footprint on the earth is so small. I'm in my little house with my little lights and my little water running and my little this and my little that and my little phone and my little fruits and my little salad, and look, my fingerprint's so small on the earth. And we think we're doing good, and we virtue signal to ourselves, and we pat ourselves on the back, and we're like, okay, this is life. That's not life, guys. That's not the life that was intended for us. That life, that only thing, that life is a safe little nook, cranny tucked away far, far from the reaches of the overarching of the system, right? You found your nice little safety spot within the system. But until you recognize and admit and start experimenting and observing these things on your own, not through the filter that they gave you, but through your own filter, you're going to, no matter what you do, no matter what you complain about, you are still arguing for just a more peaceful part of the system. You're still asking to be ruled over, judged over, policed over, taught educated, you're still asking for all of that, but you're just asking for it to be in a more gentle, easy, kinder, more Christian way. Can we be more kind to each other? Can't it while ignoring the whole fact that the only way this system's here in the first place is because we're all slaves to it. None of it would exist without our slavery. So there's all these people. I mean, I can't even look at a car. I cannot even look at a car nowadays without, because this is how it makes me emotionally and how I literally, my mind thinks of it. I see it as an object of oppression. I see it as something that took countless amount of human hours of suffering to be able to assemble it, and countless hours of destroying this earth that we're supposed to be working symbiotically with to strip all the metals, and then melting this stuff down, and then poisoning the atmosphere, the air that we breathe, and then making these things all off the backs of slaves, people making minimum wage. Oh, but auto workers make $40 an hour. Oh, well, congratulations. You make $40 an hour. I don't give a fuck if you make $100 an hour and all you do is press a button all day. That is nothing, guys. Quit valuing yourself by your hourly wage. Quit valuing yourself by the shit that you own. Quit valuing yourself by how many fucking, little stars you have in the employee, star box. Stop devaluing yourselves. That is not you. So yeah, I look at a vehicle, I'm just like, man, this is like literally like me getting in a vehicle. For me, I'm perpetuating this because then I got to put gas, oil. I think about that. I'm like, so I got to get gas, oil. I got to get parts for it when it breaks down. All of this stuff is feeding back into the financial system, feeding back into their slavery system. Who's working at the parts store? Where'd the oil come from? Where'd this come from? Where's the gas going when I run the fucking engine? All of it, guys. All of it is just, it's all feeding into the system. And so when you get to this point, you just realize that everything's got to go. The whole thing's got to go because it's all part of the system. And just, it's like saying, what's that saying? Better the devil you know than the one you don't, right? Along those lines, better the devil you know than the one you don't. Better the way of living you know than the one you don't. Better the systems, the constructs of slavery within you, which you were born, right? So everybody's so in love with nostalgia. Why? Because shit's slowly gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, right? So everybody's in love. Even 20-year-olds are in love with how it was when they were a kid. Right? 15 years earlier. Why? Because it was simpler back then, because it was easier back then, because people were nicer back then. That's the way the system operates. It gets you in love with nostalgia. Even though you were born into a slavery system, you are in love with the past thought of how great it was back then when it was just as bad. He didn't have everything that they got now, but it was just as bad. You were still living within slavery systems, still thinking you needed your goyim slop that was killing all the cells in your body, still downgrading your digestive system, which is actually the seat of your soul. Your digestive system is the seat of your soul. Why do you think they got to keep it full of shit? So, this goes all the way back. You can't just be willing to give up. Oh, well, I'll give up this much. Oh, well, I'll give up processed foods. Oh, well, I'll give up my Sunday going out to dinner with family. Oh, I'll give up go ahead, guys. Drag your feet. Get recirculated back in here. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what, any fear that you have, any doubt, any worry, any addiction, any marriage to an idea or a thought or an emotion that you have, or a religion or a politic or whatever, any of that is going to get you recirculated right back into the system. It doesn't matter. And the system doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're a vegan. It doesn't care if you're a fucking politician. It doesn't care if you're a teacher. It doesn't care if you're a priest. It doesn't care if you're a yoga instructor. It doesn't care. You spent your whole life feeding into the system and then virtue signaling that you were so great, but you were feeding into the system still the whole time, just in a different way, in a lighter, nicer, kinder, easier, gentler, Christian way compared to, just doing whatever you wanted. But, okay, I'm going to stop that there. I think this is the longest video I've ever done. Hope everybody's good. Remember who you are. You're an eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful soul, occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth, connected to everything. Reclaim your birthright. Reclaim what is rightfully yours as that being. Take care of yourselves, because nobody else will.